Hi, Sean Lyon at Lifestyle Homes again, and today we're going to discuss some of the homeowner's maintenance for inside the garage, the water heater, and some of the things on the exterior of the home as well. So first of all, the hot water heater is in the garage. We do a Ballard for safety so that we don't run into the gas line because it is a gas appliance. Real quickly, by the status light is green. We know that it's lit. Very simple to adjust the temperature of the hot water. Off would be all the way. And then the pilot light, if you go on vacation, you can always set it to pilot and save on a little bit of energy. And then typically we like to leave it somewhere between hot and low. Right in there is a good temperature. If your pilot light ever goes out on this, it's very simple to light. The operating directions are right here. If you guys have problems after that, feel free to give us a call and we can walk you through it. The hot water heater, it is a gas appliance. Just like the water lines that we discussed inside the home, when the handle is in line, the gas is on. That's the easiest way to remember it. When it's 90 degrees, that means it's closed, okay? Very important, if you smell gas at all in this area, you would want to turn this off. And then when we get outside, I'll show you guys the gas shut off at the meter as well. Every hot water tank has what's called a pop-off valve or a pressure relief valve. We want, that way if there's too much pressure in the tank or if there's anything going on, water will come out here and it'll hit this pan. And then if we ever see water come out here, we want to call somebody right away. We have a recirc pump, which allows there's always hot water running through the lines of your home. Just cuts down on water, so you're not running cold water to wait for it to get hot. What we do is when you close your house, we leave it this way, we leave it unplugged. The reason we leave it unplugged is because we want you guys to set your own timer. Which is nice. It just saves energy. That way your recirc's not always running. A lot of times people will set the timer to go off at night and then kick back on, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning before they're getting showers to go to work. The last thing in this area, we always give every homeowner a water key. When we get outside, I will show you guys where the water shutoff is for the house. We also just give an example of the 210 warranty. One of these will also be mailed to you, and there's also one in your closing package. We just like to display one here. It's just a quick reference for general homeowners maintenance and general warranty. So really important that homeowners actually read that and take a look at it. So heading outside one of our lifestyle homes, I wanted to go over a few of just general maintenance and things to be aware of as a homeowner, super simple things. So the first thing I want to talk about is the yards are designed, everything's designed to drain away from the house, and you can tell by the feathers that are in the ground, these are our drainage swales. And what we ask all homeowners on our drainage swales is to make sure that we maintain the proper drainage in your backyard so that we don't get any water under the house because we're on a raised foundation and we really don't want water in there. When you do your landscaping, you just want to make sure to maintain the drainage of your lot so that everything is designed to drain out towards the street and away from the home. So as I mentioned before, your house is on a raised foundation, and I just want to go over the foundation vents with you guys really fast. We want to make sure that there's airflow all the time going into the foundation. So the vents always stay open. That's by design. It's not like the old days where we used to close them off. We want them to be open all the time. It's really important not to, put sheds up against here, bush, trees, plants, any kind of that stuff. Planter boxes, I've seen all that stuff too. Just a good idea to keep these always clear. Make sure that we're getting good airflow into the foundation. You can see right next to there's a hose bib. Real quick on the hose bib, it is an anti-freeze hose bib. We just want to make sure that in the wintertime you don't have a hose connected to that. We want to make sure that that's disconnected. That way that the hose doesn't freeze and travel back into that hose bib and freeze it, and it will do it here. It gets plenty cold. So earlier when we were inside, I showed you guys your water key, which was next to your water heater. That's where we always leave it. If you were ever to need to shut off the water to the house, this is the water shut off to the house. and then you'd pull the cap down inside, you'd put the key in there, and you would turn the water off. So when you go to install your sprinkler systems, we do leave a T underground that's threaded for you guys to tie in for your sprinkler systems. So that would be the first question that your landscaper would ask is, where's the water source? And you would point them in this direction. They'd be able to dig this up, tie right into that T, put the valve box here, and also do their backflow for your sprinkler system. So this is one of our rear yard access gates, and you could tell it's a metal gate. We actually build these in-house ourselves. It's a very strong, durable, heavy-duty gate, and it is heavy. So over time, this gate will sag, and we've made adjustments to the hinges so that it's very simple to adjust this gate as it sags and as your wood dries out a little bit. So stepping over here, you'll see we have the bolts that go through our 4x6. So when this gate starts to sag, we tighten this bolt up, and that'll bring the gate back up where it's supposed to be. And I guarantee you'll have to do this once a year. One way to tell is the gap in this picket. As the gate sags, this gap would become larger. So that's a good gauge for you guys when you're tightening this up. This gap should be real close to matching the gap down below. I want to take a brief second just to talk about your fencing. One great thing about the fencing is it's all redwood, 100%. Pickets, the rails, the posts are all redwood. We use a true 4x6 redwood post. We also have 3-rail redwood 2x4. Then we have a 1x6 redwood picket. This fence has already been stained. This time of year we're able to get this staining done right away, which is great. They recommend that you do this every 3 years. In our association, actually, that's part of your dues. You can get the stain to stain your fence every 3 years, and they notify you. One reason we build the fence this way is the winds here are bad. We know that. The really bad winds in northern Nevada, if you've been here, you know. We take a lot of pride that we don't lose our fences out here when it's windy. Moving out to the front of the house now, I want to go over a couple of things about the utilities, your water service, electrical, and cable, and just kind of give everyone an idea of how this stuff is ran. So first of all, you'll notice that your water meter pit is here. And inside the pit typically is shared. There'll be 2 meters in this water meter pit. The meter on the left would go to the house on the left, and the meter on the right would go to the house on the right. If you ever had a water leak from here to the house, you would want to shut it off at the meter pit. If you ever had a water leak inside the home, you would want to be able to shut it off over at the house, which would be the water key that I showed you guys earlier in the garage next to the water heater. Also, we have our telephone, or AT&T. So when you guys go to and call your cable company or your AT&T phone company, this is where they would tie in and run the wires to the house. One important note about the utilities and everything being on this side of the house is that when you go to landscape or you do any trenching, you do anything like that, it's very important to call USA Digs and have them survey this area to make sure that you don't hit the gas or the water or the cable or the electrical. It's very important. On the same side of the house as your water meter and your cable and your telephone, we also have a gas shutoff. So if you ever had a gas leak in the house, they would be able to access this shutoff. It's very important when you landscape, please don't cover it up. A lot of people will do concrete or rock in this area. Make sure that it's exposed. It's very important that it's there. Also, we have your electrical box. That's where all the main power feeds to the house. You don't want to go in there for any reason whatsoever. Continuing along the same side of the house, we're over on the rear yard access. We have a drain pipe here that comes out. The drain pipe's connected to the gutters. So in keeping up with, we want to make sure all the water is away from the home. This is one of the things that we do. We found that, water dumping right next to the house from your gutters is obviously going to go under the house. So this is one of the things that we've done to eliminate that. Moving to the front of the house, we have our sewer clean out. And one thing we get is people cover this up, or they'll put a planter here or put a giant rock over it. Please don't do that. The sewer clean out is so that we're able to snake the line from here to the street if there is any obstruction in that sewer line. So it's really important to make sure this stays open. Down in the sewer clean out, there's a sweep angling towards the street. If you had a backup that was in the house, there's clean outs under the house that you can undo so that you can run a snake and get it and do it and clean it out. So on the same side of the home as your RV access and also all the services that we just talked about is the electrical panel, and you'll notice that all the breakers are labeled everywhere they go: kitchen GFI, entry, AC, dryer. We always ask homeowners, if you lose power to the house, please come out here and check first. A tripped breaker will look like that, and it'll actually be in the middle, and then you can tell that it's tripped. So we always ask homeowners, just come out and check out here first to make sure that you don't have any breakers tripped. Sometimes some appliances, frayed cord ends, plugging too much stuff into one outlet, those are some of the causes of a tripped breaker. This is your main power here. You can always throw this breaker if you need to shut off the power in a hurry. So finishing off the utilities on this side of the home, same side of the home as the RV access, we have your gas meter, which is right here. You can always, if you had a gas emergency, you can put a wrench here and you can actually turn the gas off if you ever smelled gas inside the home. This could be something that you could do very easily, and then you would want to call Nevada Energy right away if you ever smell gas in the house. Those are just a few of the things on the exterior of your home. I hope this video helps you guys, and you can obviously, if you have questions, comments, concerns, you can always call the office and we'll take care of you.